And there he is, poised for his third straight national title, 118-0, his career mark. Iowa State's Cael Sanderson. Sanderson, of course, the #1 seed, 39-0 on this current season. And he'll be taking on Daniel Cormier of the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the #3 seed and senior. And also, Cormier, one of the best that Sanderson will face all year long. Sanderson on the left of your screen now. And the orange uniform will be Cormier for the Cowboys. It always seems strange, Jeff, when you don't see a lot of Oklahoma State Cowboys in the finals.
Now, there's been 3 of them here today. I mean, they've got some representation, but not enough to put themselves up at the top of the leaderboard. But in that feature that all of you fans just had an opportunity to see, they question whether he's the best. Well, I'm sitting next to the best. His name's Dan Gable. And I would love to hear what Dan has to say. You know, we'll look forward at the start of the second period to talk with Dan and hear his thoughts about Cael Sanderson. Of course, Gable, an Iowa State University Cyclone in his collegiate days.
Cael Sanderson loves to score points, and certainly Daniel Cormier knows that. Cormier, really a daunting task going against the man of the hour in college wrestling so far. And a lot of times when you get an athlete like Sanderson so dominating, it's very difficult for anybody to come and face him. Now Sanderson down low has the leg. Sanderson now has both legs in the first 2 points of the match scored by Cael Sanderson.
Now, Cormier's met him 3 times this year. He got majored, but then the last 2 have been decisions. So he's starting to understand how Sanderson wrestles. And Cormier's a great athlete. But he said when he faced Sanderson before, he was being cautious, didn't want to make mistakes. He didn't go after him using his own style of offense. And wrestling's about your style. And if you can put your style and impose it on your opponent, generally the results are good. But Sanderson, boy, I'll tell you, great motion. What impresses me about him is he just moves around his opponent. Even though the opponent's trying to stop him, he does it so effortlessly. He's like water traveling to the path of least resistance.
Sanderson now building up the riding time. He's got half a minute on Cormier.
He's got the far elbow, too. He's got a lot of leverage on Cormier here. He can keep him in bounds. And look at him. He even risks going across his own back to keep him in bounds. It's a man with confidence.
Cormier back up and out of bounds. And Fred Ambrose, the referee here at 184, puts him back to center. John Smith, head coach of Oklahoma State. No stranger to the big mat here in the middle. 2-0. Iowa State's Cael Sanderson on top. Working for his 1 minute of riding time, 10 seconds away from that. Appears all but assured of gaining a little bit of cushion with the riding time. Cormier seems he's got no way out right now. Sanderson, as you said, Jeff, has to keep working to keep that riding time clock running.
Well, I think he was going to cut him loose as soon as he got his minute built up, and that's what he did. Look for him now in 30 seconds to try to get another takedown, and Cael will go after the takedown.
Under 30 seconds to go. It's a 2-1 lead now for Cael Sanderson.
He's so good at holding the head and reaching for the leg, and once he gets it, it's tough, and he does it again.
So quick.
I don't know if you call that an ankle pick or a sort of modified single where he's holding the head just to make sure he gets to it without the man being able to sprawl.
So 9 seconds to go in the opening 3-minute period in a championship match at 184. Bobby Douglas, Iowa State Cyclones. He'll take full credit for all Cael Sanderson has brought to the mat, right?
His dad deserves a lot of it. The Wasatch program kicked butt in Utah.
Closing seconds of the first period. It's a 4-1 Sanderson lead. We'll be back with period number 2 and Dan Gable right after this.
That because he's lost that first period, He's just a little bit behind in his reactions, and obviously it's but Sanderson does forcing that action. But if there was one thing that Coach Smith wanted to do was to get this young man ready for one match with Sanderson this year, and this is the match right here. So, you know, he's got that opportunity, but he still hasn't been able to capitalize on it just because Sanderson's been on him. And you talked about that single leg or that ankle pick. It's a combination, you're right. It's a kind of a new scoring theory that the real good ones are really using right now. The Brands brothers do this a lot. All you do is have to touch a guy's leg, and you go with their body movement, and then you tackle the other ankle. So all you have to do is touch them about at the knee, and you just carry on in. It's not you're not penetrating yourself. They're penetrating you because you're going with them. So he does this very well, and you end up at the ankle and knee, so there's no defense, and you get a lot of scoring on the edge of the mat, and he does this very well. And because of this, his scoring opportunities are at all times there. Now, Cormier is the guy that Coach Smith thought could go with him, but right now he's down 5-1. And obviously, if it's a mind game, he's in a bad situation right now.
Yeah, I think he's going to be playing it a little bit cautious, and right now he is. I would think he would try to turn up the offense a little bit. And if you don't, that's sort of respecting Sanderson too much.
Well, you know, it's like you want to do something yourself, but all you're doing is fighting him. And so basically, you're just depending on counters to win, and that's not going to happen when the guy's got an ankle and a knee.
Well, I have to ask you, in the feature about Cael Sanderson, they talked about, is he the best collegiate wrestler ever? Certainly you, with the string of victories you put together, 2 national championships, a disappointing loss as a senior. What's your opinion of Cael in history?
I have a tremendous feel for him right now because he just doesn't let up. Right there, he was, you know, the guy stopped him once or twice, and it was the 3rd time that got him. But, you know, he's on track to be the best. You know, that's just the bottom line. You know, there's some things that I did with pins and those type of things, but he likes to do more technical falls and a lot more scoring, whereas I was more of a control wrestler. But in his, you know, not to put too much pressure or give him too much credit yet, just from the standpoint that, you know, he wants to go beyond college. So, you know, he's going to have to go on and do some things after that at the international level, World Championships, Olympic Games, and before he's going to be satisfied and feel like he's the best wrestler. But, yeah, if he goes undefeated this year and next year, you know, I think he's got that title.
Well, 4 national titles, that would certainly, only one other person's ever done that, Pat Smith. Is there a Larry Owens lurking out there? Well, Owens being, of course, I got to preface that, Owens defeated you your senior year.
Usually if there's one out there, he don't want you to know it, because then you start preparing for him too. See, I didn't know Owens was there until the tournament started, so he did a good job of masking it. And once he came there, he was pretty much prepared for me, and I was, you know, getting involved in a lot of the things that was going on in the tourney, and I wasn't focused as much as he did. So you're always vulnerable. So if there's a Larry Owens out there, you know, he better not tip it off to Sanderson.
One point I had also, Coach, is that he's been so dominating at 84 that you're not going to put your horses, being the other coaches maybe, into that 84 category. You're going to put them up in weight or bring them down in weight. Are you going to avoid a guy like Cael Sanderson as a head coach?
Well, I'll tell you what, the referee called Sanderson for stalling, and he called Cormier, and I'll tell you, there hasn't been much stalling in this match.
No. But would you, as a coach, tend to avoid 84 next year with your top wrestlers, put them in another weight class?
I don't think you need to do that. You know, you got to look at and analyze certain situations, but, you know, no, you don't want to avoid people. If you start avoiding people, then that's where you get yourself in trouble. Look at that.
Look at this.
Look at
Cormier
this.
coming around. He needs control, and he got it.
Wow.
Well, Sanderson gave up the first takedown in the semifinals last night. He found himself down 2-0. Well, that quickly went away. It's 5-4. Cael Sanderson on top. Is he going to let him have it?
Wow.
Yeah.
See, Cormier thought he could get back in the match, but he forgot.
That is a player error by Cormier. He cut him loose and got caught in the process.
Well, he forgot he had to wrestle all the time.
Yep.
He was going to go for the takedown again. But in the process, it was the other guy still wrestling.
And Sanderson loves to attack. He's going to do it from any position, any time.
Is he going to let him go?
Oh, I think he'll try to continue to ride him.
He's got under 30 seconds now to go. He's got the riding time guaranteed. He's got a 7-4 lead, actually 8-4 with the riding time. So Cormier has a lot of work to do in very little time.
And he's being very smart. You know, I mean, you got to get the win. You know, I might have had the win with Owens, but I went for the pin, and that gave him an opportunity to escape. And, you know, right there, I saw he could have actually let him go, you know, because he's starting to do that. But now he realizes that I need to win this match.
Well, you brought that attitude to the Hawkeyes, though, too.
he's starting to feel perhaps a little bit of that pressure.
Yep. 2 more?
Nope.
No, he didn't let go of him.
He's staying at that ankle and knee. So that's real critical for control on a guy that's got good hips, and Cormier had good hips, but Sanderson beat him with his style.
He did indeed beat him with riding time. 8-4. Cael Sanderson defeats Daniel Cormier and remains undefeated in his NCAA career. 40-0 on the year. Sanderson, the junior, is unquestionably the best in college wrestling right now. Any advice as he goes forward to next year, Coach?
All I have to give him as advice is to keep doing what he's been doing. Don't think about, you know, the records or that type of stuff. Just keep getting better, and that's what he's been doing. Every year he's been getting better.
Well, let's take a look at the replay of the takedown that really turned things around.
He just got taken down, but you notice Cormier kind of took his time, and basically he just lost it.
There was that separation there as well between the two of them.
That took him out of the match, Cormier.
And you see the surprise on Daniel Cormier's face.
I don't know why he's surprised, but he knows he's wrestled this guy 6 times. This guy wrestles every second.
Cael Sanderson is your national champion. Dan Gable, I want to thank you for joining us here in the booth. Congratulations and good luck. And right now, Cael Sanderson is with our own Jeff Blatnick.
Thank you, Lon. Cael, congratulations. 3rd national championship in a row. Was it a bit harder than you expected?
It was tough. I knew it would be a tough match going in. I mean, Cormier's extremely hard to score on. He's a good athlete. He's a tough kid.
You now had it with that victory, 119-0 in your collegian career. When you went to Iowa State, did you even believe in your wildest dream you would have that kind of record?
No, there's no way. I mean, that's just not something you can even dream about. It's too dangerous, but it's just a good surprise, I guess.
Well, I'm sure next year we're going to look forward to asking you, can you win 4? Cael, congratulations.
I don't know. We'll talk about it next year.
Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
All right, Cael Sanderson lives up to his billing. He's national champ at 184. We'll come back to the University of Iowa and the Division I NCAA Wrestling Championships right after this.